the side where you have to pass through the security personnel to frisk you. You have to be frisked so that they ensure that you don't get into the stadium with any weapon. But again, once the people have come through the first barrier and are onto the last and final one, is that crowds seem to swell and mill around there because everyone, it is a free for all. Everyone wants to get in, but you cannot just get in the way you want. You have to follow procedure. You have to follow these gates. For instance, looking at the way they are coming in, there are about 6 or 7 main entrances that you will be frisked for the final time before you can make your way up those stairs that we are seeing ahead of us and into the terraces inside. But what you are seeing is that outside there are more people that want to get in, and they feel that passing through these 7 or so gates is not being fast enough for them. So what happens is that outside there is noise, and once they get inside, the people are so pressed they have to spend some time and recover. But getting into the terraces, we can see that more people are beginning to fill up the spaces. From where I stand, I can see from the terraces the presence of people. It's not the way it was at around 6 a.m. when we came in. So basic procedure is that there's a first check, and then there's this final check here. And this is where all the action seems to be centered around here. Everyone wants to get in. But looking at the pace at which people are coming in, we will have a sizable number. And our prediction is that even where we stand here seems to be open ground. The prediction is that in a few minutes, 30 or 40 minutes, we will have people milling around this particular area. Sharon.
All right, and maybe before we let you go, Mark, 2 things. One, how are they managing the queues on the outside? Because it can also be dangerous when everybody is pushing and shoving and trying to get in through just the few gates that are there. And secondly, do we have any screens on the outside of Kasarani such that if the ceremony begins and there are still people on the outside, they will be able to follow from Kasarani?
Now, Michael, to be honest, when we came in, the grounds outside Kasarani were already milling with hundreds of thousands of people, let's say thousands of people. And it was practically impossible to frisk them or to do a thorough body search outside there. So the only port of call that remains right now for thorough screening to be done remains these 7 or so gates that people have to go through. And the way things are, it's outside there, it is something like a stampede. You can see people with flags from the other end of the barrier. And there's so many people outside there, people pressing against each other. And if you look keenly at the gate where, one of the gates where people are being frisked, you will see that as soon as people come through, some have to recover, especially women, children, and the elderly. They are taking a beating from the huge turnout that is right outside here. So outside there, it has become practically impossible to do the first frisking or body search. They have to be subjected to the body search once they go through these 6 or so 7 gates that you can see here. But again, security outside there cannot be guaranteed 100%. But once inside here, that is when people have been subjected to enough body searches, and they can finally be able to get into the main arena where the event will be taking place starting from 10 a.m. But looking at what we have right now is still outside things are thick, literally, for the people that are coming here, especially women, children, and the elderly. We see them getting out here. Others are trying to recover their breath, trying to recover from the injuries or from the pressure that they have been subjected to by the crowds outside there. But security personnel here seem relaxed. We can see the police are having a bit of an easy time because we have NYS personnel making work much more easier for them. Still,
Mark,
some have the pleasure
sorry
of
to
walking
interrupt
around,
you.
But things seem okay here. But on the other side, that's where we have things looking like people are struggling to make their way back here. Mike?
Thank you very much.